The incredible Denzel Washington.
Without Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington.
Thank you, Denzel, for all of that you do.
We need superhero like Denzel.
Mr. Washington.
Denzel, congratulations.
Denzel Washington.
The two-time Academy Award winner, celebrated director, and beloved actor. Yes, that man. He's the actor everyone loves. I mean, this man is so loved. He can play roles that would get anyone else roasted alive on Twitter. Oh, sorry, I guess it's X now. You've probably heard the noise. Critics are out here grumbling about Denzel playing the legendary Carthaginian general Hannibal Barca. Some are saying, a black man leading an ancient Roman army, speaking American English? Normally, that kind of casting would send people into a frenzy. But again, it's Denzel Washington we're talking about. People are like, you know what? Denzel can do whatever he wants. And honestly, that's the kind of energy we're here for. Because when it comes to Denzel, rules don't apply. So how did Denzel get here? What makes him the kind of actor that breaks all the rules and still comes out on top? Let's jump right in. Let's start with his acting style. You see, Denzel is all about authenticity and truth. When he steps onto the set, you're not getting Denzel Washington, the movie star. You're getting a fully realized person who breathes, thinks, and lives like the character. Actors like Viola Davis and Ethan Hawke have said that working with Denzel feels like stepping into a whole new league. Viola Davis, who starred with him in Fences, described him as someone who forces you to bring your A game. She said, when you act opposite Denzel, you can't just show up. You have to show up ready to go to war. And that's what sets Denzel apart. He elevates the people around him. His intensity, his focus, his obsession with the truth of a character, it's all contagious. But we all know he's that good. So what makes Denzel so likable? Now, let's talk about the movie that shot Denzel to a whole new level with his fans, Training Day. This wasn't just another cop movie. This was Denzel playing dirty, and fans loved it. He became Alonzo Harris, the corrupt, manipulative LAPD officer who blurs the lines between good and evil so hard, you don't know whether to root for him or hate him. Here's why Training Day hit so hard. Alonzo wasn't your stereotypical villain. He wasn't the bad guy you love to hate. He was the bad guy you couldn't take your eyes off. And that's the mark of a great actor. They make you feel conflicted about a character who should be the clear-cut antagonist. And what happened? People loved him for it. Denzel's portrayal of Alonzo won him an Academy Award. And to this day, fans still talk about that King Kong ain't got nothing on me scene like it's gospel. I'll argue that the primary reason why people loved Denzel so much in Training Day was because he made a villain relatable, let's be honest. Most bad guys in movies are one-dimensional. They're evil for the sake of being evil. But with Alonzo Harris, there was just something different. Denzel gave him depth. Sure, he was manipulative, dangerous, and selfish, but he was also someone who believed in his own twisted moral code. In Alonzo's mind, he wasn't the bad guy, but someone just doing what it took to survive. And that's what made the character so compelling. Fans still rave about Denzel's performance in Training Day. He got fans saying things like, I knew I shouldn't like Alonzo, but Denzel had me rooting for him anyway. That's how good he was. But here's the kicker. After Training Day, Denzel didn't get stuck playing villains. He didn't let Hollywood box him in. One minute, he's Alonzo Harris, the corrupt cop. The next, he's playing a loving father in John Q. Denzel's range is insane, and it's a big reason why he's become everyone's favorite. All right, let's get one thing straight. Our love for Denzel Washington isn't some accident. It's not just because he's been in a lot of movies or that he's a Hollywood legend. No, there's something much deeper going on here. There's a way Denzel prepares for his roles that makes hating him almost impossible. The man doesn't just show up, deliver his lines, and leave. I mean, Denzel consistently delivers scenes that stay with you. One of those? The gut-wrenching confession scene in Flight.
I drank the vodka bottles.
The I was drunk and I am drunk right now line is delivered with such raw honesty that it doesn't feel like acting.
I'm drunk now.
It feels like real life unfolding before your eyes. It's an acting masterclass, pure and simple. No over-the-top dramatics, no gimmicks, just Denzel being as real as it gets. He has a special way of getting so much into a role that you forget you're watching Denzel. That's how he wins you over, every single time. Which is why, after decades, he's still everyone's favorite actor. Remember that scene in Equalizer?
The mistake you made was you killed my friend. So, I'm gonna kill each and every one of you, and the only disappointment in it for me is that I only get to do it once.
The one everyone always talks about? That was some cold stuff. Now, if you've seen it, you know that Denzel delivers that line with a calmness that chills you to your core. He's standing there outside with those guys, completely in control, his face barely moving as if he's telling them he's about to grab a coffee. But nah, this man is casually informing a road full of highly trained assassins that they're all essentially dead. The way he delivers that line, his stillness, his slow pacing, it makes the threat feel so much worse. And here's the thing, you believe him. Every syllable hits like a promise you know is coming true, and when he actually carries out that threat, it's surgical, precise, and oh so satisfying. You don't cheer because he's violent. You cheer because it feels right, and that's Denzel for you.
Father only means that you're taking care of your children. That's what it is to be a father. Father doesn't mean that you're having some babies. Anybody can have a baby. Having a baby does not make you a father. Anybody can go out and get a woman.
And let's not forget Malcolm X. I mean, that movie proved that it's not just his cool, unflinching side that makes Denzel Washington the favorite actor for so many people. He's really not just good at playing heroes or badasses. Denzel is also a master of emotional complexity. Now, this movie, it's one of the greatest biographical performances of all time. And one scene that defines that is when Denzel, playing Malcolm X, delivers the iconic courtroom speech. Malcolm X was an intense, fiery leader with deep convictions. And Denzel channels that energy perfect. When watching that movie, I'd feel like Malcolm X himself is standing there in front of me, spilling his heart out, telling his story. Denzel's command of language in this scene is nothing short of electrifying. Every word feels intentional, like it carries the weight of an entire lifetime of pain, struggle, and triumph. And by the time the scene is over, you're left in awe of how powerful words can be in the hands of someone like Denzel. But if we switch it up again, and go to the 2014 Equalizer, then you'll have to give Denzel props for pulling off one of the most intense fight scenes in modern action cinema. I'm talking about the brutal confrontation with a Russian gang. Now, Denzel's character, Robert McCall, isn't just your average action hero. He's a guy with a deep sense of justice. And in this scene, you see that on full display. The fight, it's brutal, sure, but it's also so calculated that you almost feel like McCall's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Denzel's calm, his efficiency, it's the kind of performance that makes you think, yeah, I wouldn't mess with this guy. And he brings this same depth and intensity to deeply emotional moments. Take The Hurricane Mark, for example. The final courtroom scene, where Reuben Hurricane Carter is finally exonerated, is one of the most powerful moments in Denzel's career.
I hereby order Reuben Carter released from prison.
When that final verdict comes and you see Carter's relief, his exhaustion, and his hope, it's not over the top. It's not melodramatic. It's real. You feel every second of Carter's journey in that moment, and that's all because of Denzel's ability to connect with the emotional core of his character. There are just too many examples to pick from. I mean, if you want to talk about raw emotion, then just take a look at the battle scene where Private Silas Tripp, played by Denzel, charges into battle against Confederate soldiers. Here, there's a sense of duty, of sacrifice, and Denzel captures all of that in a way that's both heartbreaking and inspiring. And we can't talk about Denzel Washington without mentioning fences. There's a scene in this movie that everyone remembers.
I ain't got to like you.
The infamous, "I ain't got to like you" scene. He says it with such conviction that you almost feel like you are prying into a private moment. Denzel makes you feel the weight of every word, every look, and every sigh. He brings real, relatable characters to life, and that's why we, the audiences, can't get enough of him. You know, Denzel didn't become the likable man he is today by chance. He was smart from the start. Early in his career, Denzel was offered a $600,000 role in a comedy about a black man who rapes a white woman and then survives all attempts to execute him. And what did Denzel do? He turned it down. He was told something crucial. Your early roles can define you, so choose wisely. That's exactly what he did, setting himself up as a leading man with depth, integrity, and versatility, instead of falling into cheap stereotypes. This is one of the reasons we love him. He knew his worth right from the beginning and never compromised on it. In the end, what makes Denzel Washington everyone's favorite isn't just his acting, it's the whole package. He's relatable, authentic, and talented. He's been married to Pauletta Pearson for over 40 years, and their family life speaks volumes about his character off screen. He's the kind of guy that you just want to root for, even when he's the villain of the story. And it's that realness, both in life and on screen, that makes Denzel one of those rare actors who can make any movie better just by being in it. What do you love most about Denzel? Please let us know in the comments, And do not forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of your favorite actors.